Hi there, I'm Dr. Lakita J, and welcome to my YouTube channel where I talk about all things in between being and becoming a pharmacist. How you doing? You all right? In today's video, we're going to talk about really how prerequisites to get into pharmacy school. And I swear a lot on that. I introduced you to the software, pharmcast.org. That's one of the game changers. And it'll be coming up shortly. However, I want to make sure that I do say, when picking your school or a particular pharmacy school you want to say, or picking the school you want to apply to, you want to make sure that you think about some other things. Things to consider is our course location, relocation fees if you want to go to another state. Also, whether it's public or private, because sometimes private can be, sometimes private can be a little more expensive than public schools. You also want to consider accreditation status, whether someone is fully accredited or not. And accreditation status matters because it shows, one, will you for employment, most employment or jobs especially want someone, if you want, especially government, they want you to graduate from a accredited school. That's one. Then also two, like the representation of accreditation, meaning that you are quality, you were prepared with quality expertise and great training. So that's also another thing too, and that's some things to look out for. Also too, another thing would be of course, I am a Black pharmacist, so I want to make sure that I say this because I went to a predominantly white school in undergrad, and there were a lot of things I experienced and things of this nature. It's kind of like the unsaid rule, the unsaid thing, the unsaid thing of the injustice and prejudice that you experience, and then too, like being the only one in the room syndrome. So it's one of those things. Me, because I experienced those things, I knew for a fact that I didn't want pharmacy school to be like that. So for me, I was very intentional of applying to pharmacy schools that really I didn't have to worry about that. Like I just said, pharmacy school is going to be hard. However, I want to worry about the color of my race being a factor in things of how I'm treated and dealing with just the classmates, some teachers and things of that nature. Like that is something to consider if you are a person of color. I mean, you probably like, I don't care, it's always going to happen. And I also say too, making that decision was very beneficial to me because of how my confidence is as a pharmacist. Like, yeah, and it's so much things to unpack with that, but really how my confidence is as a pharmacist and how I dare to be different at all costs. So definitely say that. And these prerequisites, quick and dirty, like I said, I decided to go to pharmacy school. I had originally went to pharmacy school, and I went to college, knew I wanted to be a pharmacist. However, I kind of changed my major. I was like, this ain't for me, things of this nature. And I decided I'm just going to do, please give me a degree because I'm taking these prerequisites and I don't know if I want to be a pharmacist. So at later, like almost time for like my last year of school, undergrad, get ready to graduate, I decided that I'm going to try pharmacy school again. Like I really apply for it. And one of the key things I show in this video coming up is exactly like how I identified the schools I was going to apply to, because I decided late. And what I'm saying late is being that you apply for pharmacy school a year, sometimes a year, a couple months in advance. As you will see, some pharmacy schools, they accept applications up to May of the current year. You'll be for the fall. But a lot of times, a lot of schools accept applications in the fall for the following fall, like the current fall for the next year, upcoming fall. So that's one thing. But for me, I decided I was going to do it late. And doing that, it kind of had I had to narrow some things down. So I want to make sure we go into the prerequisites of exactly how you will exactly how you would choose your school. So let's get into it, okay? So the Pharmacy College Application Service, this is the website, better known as PharmCast. This is the website that you typically go on when you're trying to apply for pharmacy school, especially in the United States. When you are applying to pharmacy school. This is one of the resources that tells you have so many resources for you to do, and it's typically the centralized application services for multiple PharmDs. However, you do have some exceptions to the rules. Some pharmacy schools do not typically use PharmCast, but majority do. So again, it all depends on your particular pharmacy school you want to apply to, things of this nature. So here, application instructions, they have a good thing here for you, application instructions, so you can just go in like before you apply. They have the PDF instructions for 2023-2024, which has to be updated shortly. At the time it's recording, this is what we have. It's not updated, sorry. But these are things that have deadlines. But as someone who is interested in becoming a pharmacist and you're trying to figure out, okay, what kind of schools and this and that's this things of that nature, tongue tied, I would say let's start in here. So more so school directory. Now this is somebody, if this is what you want more so PharmD programs and what they require, things of this nature. You think about different schools. I would also stay in this session. So this was school directory. We go to PharmD directory and we're here. And you can play with it. So specifically, I like this better because this is what help things make sense. Sometimes people get in the habit of just applying to schools just for, things of location. People have different reasons why they choose a particular school. This can help you a lot. So of course you got regions here. They got distance pathways and stuff like that. So you can necessarily just pick a region. Like if you live in California, you want to pick this region or anything or wherever you want to go. Also location, what type of schools and stuff, things of that nature. So for me, when I applied to pharmacy school, of course, I decided that's a whole nother story about me in pharmacy school. That's a good journey too. Me and my prerequisites of trying to get into pharmacy school. I should really have a whole other video about that. I probably will. But anywho, it's not about me, it's about this. So, but I did say that I was like, I want to live in Virginia. And I want to live, I knew for a fact I want to live in Virginia. And I was like, I can go to pharmacy school at the same time. So here, let's just say here, let's do it. So I said Virginia, right? And you look at pharmacy schools in Virginia. And then, like I said, at this current time, this recording as of January 10th, 2024, PCATs are no longer needed. So for here, it can be any kind of thing for PCATs because it doesn't really matter. Most of the time, you can probably have it just, you can do any here. And also, too, it plays into where you want a public or private university. Sometimes private can be fairly more expensive. So things of that nature. And then you want to have primary structure of this. Meaning here, what is the structure? It's a 2-year, some pharmacy schools are 3-year programs, 4-year programs, things of that nature. So if you want a 3-year, 4-year program, you better want to get done quickly as possible. When it comes to accreditation status, you want to have full accreditation, preferably someone who's fully accredited, or you do have pharmacy schools still coming up, and so it's one of those things of they're a candidate for accreditation, they are a candidate for accreditation, in which they may be more so, like I said, a new school. They have to have enough students come in and meet the requirements for that. But if you try, that's up your, that's a risk you take, and there's our pros and cons to that decision as well. But it's not a game changer. It's not like a killer by any means necessary. But for this purpose, I'm just going to say full accreditation kind of thing. Okay. And CAG status, honestly, I don't know what this means, being honest. I really don't. But we're just going to say any at this current time because I'm doing real time here. But evaluation references, and that's what I'm saying. Some people, as I spoke before, different pharmaceuticals require different things. So you want that some do require references, some do not. So typically let's just say yes. It's in a job, they want references. But primary deadlines, this is also something that's very important. When they want these deadlines to be done. for this particular thing. So, okay, when's the deadline to apply for schools? Typically, when it comes to pharmacy, when you apply, you're going to apply a year in advance. Typically, so, it's, as you can see, by May 14th, May 1st is the absolute last day. Typically, the earlier you apply, the better for you. And they do have final deadlines, stuff of this nature. So let's just say priority deadline is up to May. Time is recording. We want to make sure if you were late bloomer coming in, can you still apply for this? So how it happens is, if you apply, like you see these dates, so you start like applying like October, it'll be typically year before. So if you apply by fall, like, okay, in that fall of the current year, you'll be in the next year's class. So that's why you see the fall of 2023, you're in January. You'll be in fall class of 2024. You got to May 24. Like, they do have this, but some people do it, but most of the time people have their deadlines. So when you start applying and having this, most people who majority of schools will have you apply in the fall, so then they can do their interviews and things of that nature in the spring to invite you into the interview as well. Just think of like a job application. Like, you apply for a job, you might get an interview, then you say you was accepted, you got the job or not. That's kind of like the pharmacy school fall, kind of the same program, okay? Just FYI. But that's how it typically goes. So let's just say this. And I just say absolute deadline was going to be June 3rd, okay? And apply filters. So you apply all these filters. Okay, no, nobody's doing it. So I just say, let's just leave this open, because this probably, most of the time, people are going to have it. So let's do this. Oh, no submissions. What's going on? Apply filter. No submissions available. Okay, this is very weird. All right, well, let's just say here. Okay, I don't know what's going on. Let's just say any. I don't know. This is so weird. Okay, that's what it was. It's a program structure. It was any. Who would have known? And so then, like, you have different kind of schools listed. And like I said, most schools here in Virginia, you're going to have primary deadline, final deadline. You got different things for that. So that's something you can consider, play with, do for you. I'm just saying, for purposes of this video, we can just play with it, okay? But one of the key things is not only like looking at the like playing with this Form D directory. One of the most pivotal things I use as deciding the schools. I'm just a person of, okay, yeah, location's cool and where you want to go, but I'm more so like, okay, I had a whole thing of what I want to become a pharmacist or back before I become a pharmacist or not. And I just had to go into saying like what was needed. Like, okay, I had decided late in the game that I had changed my major, and I decided late in the game I was going to go back to pharmacy school. Well, I'm going to pharmacy school. It was late in the game. It was literally like that fall semester, October. And as you can see, like, let's just look here. Just say any regions, anything here, right? Let us say October, right? Look at all these schools here, because most schools going to say in October, right? Or let's just say November. Apply for those 28 schools. Here's 34. Now, I decided late in the game. Now, of course, at the time when I was applying, PCAT was required. PCAT is only offered for a couple times a year. So I had to literally say what pharmacy schools will accept PCAT, January PCAT, because at the time, most pharmacy schools want you to have a PCAT score prior to, like, at the time, it was like kind of, most pharmacy schools didn't like the January PCAT. So I decided I'm going back to pharmacy school in October. I literally made the decision when I was pharmacy school in October. I had to decide what schools made. It was hectic for me, like, it's like literally in October trying to get ahead being the next year. So for me, this is kind of thing I'm getting at show you, but this is what's the most powerful tool for me that helped me out. And you're going to find this here in helpful tools. Should be in pre-pharmacy prep. Oh, no. It's the set tools. There we go. Sorry. It's going to be, no. Oh my gosh. Where is my thing? Oh, this is it. Pre-pharmacy prep. No, I don't see it. Oh my gosh. Isn't this crazy? Preparing for the this is not what I'm looking for. Bear me a sec. Got it. Look, got it. School directing. No, not school directing. It's over here. Look at me. It's over here. It's pre-pharmacy prep. It was this pre-pharmacy prep and prepare pharmacy schools. That's what it was. So pre-pharmacy prep. I'm sorry, guys. So here, pre-pharmacy prep. Then here I want to prepare pharmacy schools. Make sure I got this. So this was the game changer for me because I didn't have time to like figure it out. So I was like, again, hear my story of I knew I want to go to pharmacy school. I was late in the game. It was already October. I had decided, okay, I'm going to try this pharmacy thing out. And I'm trying to get into next year. So I had this one set to take the PCAT score for you. You don't have this word like I did. But who gonna admit the January PCAT? What prerequisites I already have taken? Because I started out in school saying I wanted to do some, I want to go to pharmacy school. So I had already kind of had prerequisites. But I wanted to make sure like what schools I don't have to take any additional classes, like with the courses I have already taken, what do I necessarily need to get into schools? So this was the game changer. So here, these listed here is going to tell like the core, like different kind of classes and stuff you have to take, the biochemistry, like I said, it's a lot of science, humanities, speech, communications, English sometime, math. There's going to be a lot of that. So what I did was I highlighted, I literally highlighted, okay, how many classes did I take? So there was like here, as you can see, like biological sciences, how many courses of biological science I had to take. So that's kind of like your biology 1, biology 2 kind of thing. That's 8 courses. Your chemistries, what kind of chemistries? General chem, it's typically going to be like 16 classes. I mean, like the general chems to your organic chems. And you might do like even the biochemistry, just looking at what kind of course you are taking. So how I did it, I was like, okay, so I'm just going to do this. I was like, okay, I knew I had 2 biochemistry. I knew I had biological sciences. And I did chemistry, general chem, organic chem. I had my little 1 credit hour in my communication class. Yes, I didn't do computer science. I didn't do that. I did take up my microeconomics class. So that was my economics. English, writing, that's basis for any kind of degree. I took that. Ethics. I did take ethics because I was a pre-pharmacy major, so that's one of the things I did take. Foreign language, of course, for your degree, you typically just in general, like if you want a degree, you have to take a foreign language in school. So of course I had that. Humanities, and then to go back up here, like humanities, it kind of lists out what kind of humanities was. And at that time, I did have to take a religion course, so I knew that would be a part of it. But sometimes they may want like sociology, so you have to be specifically like what kind they were looking for. Well, social behavior science. They didn't. Okay, look, they didn't change it up on me. My bad. And then math, and then the biological sciences, that they're literally listed out. So I knew I had general biology 1, 2. I had taken genetics as well. Genetics is also required. So I had took that. And then you have like, so that's 1, like here. So I had like 3. There'll be some things of that nature. What specifically ones they use. And then you also have, microbiology. I took that because again I had transitioned to like I was like, okay, Laquita, I'm not gonna lie, I went for pre-pharmacy and I was like, okay, I want to at least have a degree. So what, like, I'm not gonna lie, I was playing around and I was pre-pharmacy major because I was on track to do like the 2. At the time you had an option to do a 2-year pro at this university, my undergrad university. You can do 2 years and then you can do just and then get into the pharmacy school. Because you don't have to necessarily a degree to get into pharmacy school, so I take prereqs. So, but I was like, you know what? I'm out here playing. I'm spending 3 years on doing prerequisites. I might as well go ahead and send nothing and give me a degree. Basically, what I said. So, I went and got a degree, and so I kind of had all these things, and I was like, okay, so the physics and things of this nature, psychology. So I literally looked like I just highlighted what I had. And then once I highlight, like if I highlight all the way down, I just really looked and see like, okay, so I start with this part highlighted here. And then I just went looking and see what schools I had. So I just say like from here, just say like a yellow marker or something. And then change a different color, like do like a pink or orange, like where it's going to change colors, or a blue where you'll see green. Like, y'all know color changes. So then I just went and I just started highlighting what pharmacy schools that I didn't have to take I didn't take any other credits, prerequisites, or any other courses I needed, or if I could take them for spring semester, it could be, I can like easily get. And that's how I use it. So this here was truly a game changer. So you're somebody who's trying to figure out like what schools to apply to, can I meet our requirements? Just start what you have. Look at your transcript and really see what do you already have that this school requires. And another game changer I really did was I literally like, and once I realized like what schools like I already meet majority of requirements, I reached out to the admissions director and say, hey, could you look at my transcript and tell me what courses, like these are the courses I have taken, this is what I'm looking at, here's the things I've seen, what other courses do I need to take to meet your requirements to apply for your program? And honestly, majority of all of them always responded. Like, of course, I'm sure they had other things to do in their life, in their time, in their day, but they actually responded. So I knew what specific courses I needed to take to be in that program. So I definitely say this to you. This is definitely a game changer. Well, this was a game changer for me. And then, of course, like, they do have other resources for you. Again, PCAT, they have like supplemental materials, because some people do use supplemental materials, and you can just see, you know, like filter who's having supplemental. Some people use that, but it's not necessarily a thing for the majority of people here. And then again, you got private, public. Like, this is a good one, but this here was the absolute best for me. And some people want to have like go pharmacy school and have like dual programs. So they do list people who does like pharmacy school, you get a Pharm D in addition to something else. So they do use it, but I don't necessarily know this apply filter thing does not necessarily work for here, but they'll tell you if other schools offer different things. Like, you see a lot of schools offer those MBAs. You get a master's of science as well. So you do PhD and things like that. You can see like which one offer other things. As you're getting your pharmacy degree, you can get a dual degree program. So that is PharmCast. Just, I'm telling you, the game changer for me was definitely going into here, prereqs. If you're somebody who like me, you're just somebody, I don't say not even like me, like last minute, but if you're trying to get in, honestly though, that I would really start there. Like, what classes I already taken, and just start there. What class I already taken, and then go here, compare programs, course prerequisites. So your prerequisites, because I'm sure you already considered pharmacy school, you thought about giving up, you probably changed. Or you might be somebody who was like, I have been an English major this entire time, now I want to go be a pharmacy school. Like, what do I need? What course I need to take to get into pharmacy school? Start here. Okay? All right. But and you can totally play around with this particular website. It is really good and very helpful, but if it has a lot of tools, but if you get kind of like, I don't know what to do, you can just start in this tool, application instructions. It tells you a lot of different things, stuff of this nature, and then to the helpful tools for the prerequisites. And you can also just play around with what you want. And also, there was another quick thing I know it was a quick way to do this. And see, this a quick way. I was like, it's a quicker way to do this. Compare pharmacy programs. Just stay in this column here. I'll go here, and you can look and see like Pharm D directory. You can play with like different kind of characteristics and stuff like that you want for a particular pharmacy. Or you can go to compare pharmacy D program. It's the same tab I just had. Just click here. Okay. I hope you found that with this video very helpful. PharmCast is a game changer. This is what you're going to use when you're trying to apply pharmacy school, when you're trying to figure out your prerequisites and things of this nature. PharmCast is a game changer. I really hope you find the video very helpful in how it's going through it. As always, like, comment, subscribe to our channel. And I would say, like, seriously, applying pharmacy school can be a daunting thing. But it's just a give and take. Like I said before, you're not going to have all the things perfect. It's not going to be perfect. With prerequisites, just make sure your GPA, like you have a good GPA, side GPA, overall GPA. Or even if your GPA is low, or do you have the experiences like extracurricular activities that could accommodate for it? And even with the experiences part, you may feel like, oh, I need to work in the pharmacy and do those things. Working in the pharmacy is not going to dictate whether you succeed in pharmacy school or not. It's only one of the biggest benefits is where it works on your professional skills. It works on the things that pharmacy school don't necessarily teach you about, like insurances and how to deal with those things. And you just opportunity to get familiar with the drugs and things of that nature. And then, like, of course, your personal brand building relationships and honing in on your patient care skills. So that's one of the key things. Okay, so don't just get to think about like prerequisites that are good, but it's overall, you want to make sure that you overall like are a good candidate despite different scenarios. Okay, until next time, remember, pharmacy is unlimited. You are now, go be great.